Go ahead.
Hi, all. Thank you so much for joining me live today. My name is Nina Means, Director for Austin Community College Fashion Incubator, and you are joining us for Coffee Talk. We are so glad to have you here with us this week. We were not up last week. It was Labor Day holiday, so hopefully you were able to get rested. I don't know about you, but last week was a bit fast and furious for me. So, whatever resting we did over the Labor Day holiday, I think kind of got zipped out of there in the last several days of the week. But we are back here for another exciting week, hopefully a productive week for all of you as we talk a little bit more about fashion technology. So we're doing a bit of a deeper dive. In some respects, we're not going to, give all of it away. We only have a couple of minutes here just to get the week started off right. But I did want to share with you, just some things that we've been, kind of walking our designers through, some really exciting new experiences that are happening here as a fashion incubator. But, I think one of the things that we really wanted to lean into is, just really looking at what does it really take for emerging designers to leverage fashion technology at this stage of the game? For them, they're kind of considering, what if you could get your product done faster or fit your customers better or still enjoy the process of creating your product collection after collection and do it sustainably. So all of those things together joined into one experience, we find it's really for emerging designers and for the costs associated with it, that fashion technology really is the way forward. We really say hey, well, now you can do all of those things. Fashion technology, I think, as a designer myself, and as, I've spoken to other designers, there's a bit of this fashion futurism that makes designers a little bit nervous, right? Because we're so used to touching our, materials and, manipulating the garments and draping the styles and kind of creating something with our hands. And the idea that you're taking away the hand portion of that, creating something and feeling the fabrics and then putting that all into technology, for some designers may feel like they're losing something. But what I want to tell you is that we actually have a ton to gain. So as we're looking at, how fashion is really kind of moving the needle and moving designers forward, you really don't have to lose that part of the design process that you love. A lot of our emerging designers are finding how much faster and how much more efficient and how much more effective they can create their collections by leveraging the technology, and how much less expensive from time and labor and materials that it can be in order for them to realize their dream, their collection. And so, for some of us, we're finding that a lot of this kind of technology is really only reserved for really big companies, whenever they're trying to put out, 100,000 units or 60,000 pieces of a particular style, like one style, and they're selling that style globally. Sometimes emerging designers will say, well, I don't know if that's really for me. Do I need to do all of that? Do I need to take the time to put into technology if I'm only going to produce a few different, pieces of that style, or maybe 100 units of that style, or even 1,000 units of that style? When is it worth it to use fashion technology? And for us, we're seeing that, especially as designers are learning to use this, they're saying that it's immediately useful. It's immediately worth it to use fashion technology to be able to bring their collections to market. So, some of them are saying, well, is this something that's too time consuming to learn? How long is it going to be before I can kind of start over again or get going again to put out my next collection or my next capsule? Is it really difficult? If I'm working pattern and I use paper and I, do a toile or a muslin and I stitch something up to get an idea of what it looks like, a sample or a prototype, how long is it going to take for me to learn how to use a digital platform? And will I like it when I do it? Some of the people are saying, well, is this something that's just too hard? Is it out of touch, from what I do? And, guys, we can kind of talk about, some of the things that, are, maybe a hurdle, for some of our designers who are used to working with their hands. But let me tell you, for those of us who are really fighting for sustainability and are looking for the future of fashion and taking our industry forward, this has really become a no-brainer. We are like really excited about what is happening regarding the fashion technology space. And the truth is that it doesn't take you a long time to learn, and it's something that you can use right away. So what do I mean by that? So ACC Fashion Incubator has a designer in residence program. And so those designers, those brands are actually going through our curriculum where they're learning how to use AccuMark, two-dimensional pattern design software. They're learning about 3D pattern design software, which is how you can actually look at the garment completely made into the computer. They're learning things like product lifecycle management, which is really exciting because it helps you to track all of the things that are going on. It helps you to track everything that's happening across the board. It's whether you're talking with your vendor or contractor, whether you're talking with a pattern maker or another designer on your team, it's one central location that accelerates your timeline to be able to get your product to your customer at just the right time. One of the things that I particularly love about some of these systems is that, the 3D modeling especially, this is a really great marketing tool. It's an opportunity for you to test some ideas before you even cut a piece of fabric. And so the idea that you would learn how to use the 2D system and then learn how to sew the garment in the computer at the 3D system, allows you to really conceive an entire collection before committing to, purchasing any of the materials or having to, work directly with the fit model. Once you feel like you have confidently gotten to your initial styles that you want to develop, now you can put money behind the things that you know are going to work. Instead of you wasting, let's just be real, we waste a lot of time and money and resources trying to come up with that perfect idea, that one thing that your customer is going to love. Or let's just be real, sometimes it's just a thing that we think we're going to love. Sometimes we want to purchase or we want to make something that's, maybe a custom project or a bespoke project. And this is still a really great way for designers to work. As we kind of talk with some of our other, Gerber technology customers, we see some people who use it as more of like a made to measure, where it's helping you to customize on demand for your customer. So if you're like a dressmaker or if you are working in tailoring or something of this nature, being able to work really closely with your customer on, some customizations, some fitting requirements. Our bodies are all very, very different. And so it's the ability to take, those measurements and those things into consideration is a really big deal. If you are doing this by hand, it will take you so long. If you are doing this, kind of without technology, this process is not a quick process. If you've done this before, you may have come up with your own ways of being efficient. However, the moment you employ this, you're making measurement changes and pattern updates in a matter of clicks. And so this is really what we're helping our designers to say, hey, what you've been doing is awesome. Where you've been working is great, but let us help you take it through the technology to help you do it that much better. It's going to help you go faster. It'll help you be more efficient, and it'll help you meet your customer exactly where they need you to be. We are also, kind of looking at how designers are really leveraging this to become more sustainable. A lot of times, if you've worked in our industry, sustainability really is not our strong suit. We've overproduced in product development, we overproduce in production, we sit on inventory. There's a lot of spaces where fashion, really has an opportunity to improve the way that we go to business. And so sustainability is key. This fashion technology is taking us there, and it's taking us there quickly at a price that is not prohibitive for a small business. It's something that is possible for small business. It helps you to identify, can this be made? Can this product really, work? You're not just kind of prototyping and creating product that may not actually be feasible, may not actually work on a human body. You get a chance to test all of that with production grade measurements and finishes in the computer before you do the sample, which is a huge deal. Anyone who's purchased expensive sample yardage only to turn around and buy the bulk yardage for the right price that should give you the margins that you're looking for if you meet the minimums. There's a lot of ifs on this, but now instead you can kind of focus on getting the right thing the first time and being really precise about it with something that you know can be made. Then, is this what my customer wants? Being able to test this idea before it becomes a reality. So all of these things are really laying the foundation for what we believe is truly the future of fashion. And the reason why it's a future of fashion is because it's happening for smaller and smaller brands. Emerging brands have not had access to this. It has not been something that's a part of their regular process. Normally you'd have to be, Fortune 500 company or Fortune 50 company. You really have to have a huge distribution and a lot of access, but this is something that's making really fashion technology for the people. And so we want you guys to come to ACC to take this class, a part of our workforce education series. You may be asking yourself, is this class even for me? Is this really something that is appropriate for my skill set and where I am? And I'll tell you that whenever we've run the AccuMark 2D course in the past, when you've taught these courses in the past, designers, pattern makers, students, professors have all been a part of our courses. And it's really been that fashion forward trend that's taking our entire industry forward. So if you fall into one of those buckets, you're a designer, you're a pattern maker, you're a student or a professor, you'll get value out of the AccuMark 2D course. So it's starting very soon, October. It's a 10-week course that runs October to December, and it is one night a week, and we are offering it as a hybrid. So you can take a digital course remotely, or you can come into the lab and take it on campus. And so there is one in-person workshop where you're going to learn how to digitize your patterns on an actual pattern digitizing table. So that will be one skill that you'll absolutely leave with, is understanding how to digitize your own patterns, and then to be able to actually manipulate those patterns and create different styles with those patterns in AccuMark. This is really not something that you're going to want to miss. So if you're following us on our live feeds, you should be seeing a link for our workforce education series. If you don't see it there, you can always check us out on our Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook pages, and we'll have a link for the workforce education series there. That series includes AccuMark 2D, which is starting this October. So guys, there's so much more that we could say about this. There's so much more to talk about, but it is a quick coffee talk. This is good morning. Have a great week. And so if you find that these are really valuable, this is helping you to know what's going on inside of the Fashion Incubator. We would love for you to, share, subscribe, or like the videos on any of the platforms that you're enjoying this on today. And then also, if you have any questions regarding the course that I just mentioned, AccuMark 2D, that's starting in October, let us know. That course is taught by industry veteran Lisa Lowell. She has worked on Gerber technology for a number of years, and you will get so much out of the session. It is a digital hybrid course. So you're going to get a chance to either take that class remotely, or you can take it inside of the Fashion Incubator Design Lab at ACC Highland campus. So again, guys, if you have any questions, send us a quick email at fashion.incubator@austincc.edu. And always, thank you for sharing a coffee with us at the ACC Fashion Incubator. Have a great week.